Before I even start this, I want you to know there was good and bad to this show. There was good and bad to the show. Hey, look, we got the return of Kevin Owens. Gave us some hope that there's going to be a promise, a fill is going to fill up, take up some space, and make SmackDown better than what it has been for a very long time. With the addition of Kevin Owens' return and Randy Orton's return and Cody Rhodes out of the main event for a while. All these things that happened on SummerSlam this weekend has given us some promise about SmackDown. Given us some hope about SmackDown. Don't get me wrong. But could you believe all the ads tonight? Could you believe all the ads tonight? It was like watching Ad Slam. You know, back in the 90s, WWE used to put ads, used to take a break in their pay-per-views. And during the break, because the pay-per-view lasts, as you all know, between 3 and 3.5 hours most of the time. And they'd have a 5-minute break. They'd have a big part of the pay-per-view. They take a 5-minute break, and then they come back and have the main event. The double main event or whatever it was. Well, during that 5-minute break, they would show something that has to do with a feud, a rival, one of their stars, something. And then they might show something about one of the ads that is promoting WWE or WWF at the time, or Coliseum Video, or whatever. That's what they did. Not like now, where all you see is one match, 7 minutes of commercials, and part of the commercials is WWE SummerSlam has went to commercial break. And you see that for 2 minutes straight. And then you come back to ads. And then you go to the match. There's only one match, if I remember correctly tonight, that we actually saw. We actually saw, wrestling fans, a video package of the rival. And it just so happens to be the main event. It just so happened to be the main event. Okay. Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. And I'm not going to complain about that matchup because if it wasn't for that matchup, this night would have been lowered a lot. The night would have been falling off the rails a lot. Okay? I mean, it was going okay, and then we had to watch Danhausen. Okay. I mean, Danhausen and all his little mini-housens throwing Danhausen money to the crowd. Or Moneyhausen, or whatever they're calling it. Just so they can get you to buy it on WWEshop.com. That's all that is. Now, wrestling fans, as far as the show is concerned, because the ads were absolutely terrible. Terrible. Every time there was an ad that came on, me and my nephew hit mute. But the show itself, I don't have too much to complain about. I don't. WWE knew. They knew they had to do something. Because, let's just face it, with these 2-night events, the first night always seems underwhelming. And I hate it that it always seems underwhelming the first night. WrestleMania was the same way. WrestleMania was the same way. The year prior, it's the same way. All the 2-night events end up doing that. The first night's underwhelming. The second night is stacked. All the time they do that. It's almost like all they're doing is draining our pocketbooks for one extra night. That's it. And they could care less what they put on the show. As long as they fill up one of the nights where it's at least halfway entertain, halfway good, so we don't gripe too much. That's the way it really comes off. Well, the first night, I know it had Brock Lesnar versus Obafemi inside Hell in a Cell. I know it had CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton's return. But how the Hell in a Cell really played off, whether you enjoyed the match or not, did it really live up to how vicious and violent and Broctagon and all that stuff that they said it was going to be? Even me, who said that I thought it was a decent match, and it was a decent match, but Hell in a Cell, they didn't use the stinking thing. If you go back and watch it, they did not use the cage itself. And if you're going to have a Hell in a Cell match, use the cell. So, these nights, the double night pay-per-views, I hope they stop having them. I hope they just have Mania, SummerSlam, and that's it. I hope they don't have it for Survivor Series and Rumble and all that's different ones, because it's not needed whatsoever. Now, as far as the card tonight, though, goes, I couldn't be happier, though, that Kevin Owens is back. It would not surprise me. Actually, it would be a cool thing if WWE did this. They're not, but it would be cool if they did. If Nick Aldis actually got to wrestle again, except this time against Sami Zayn. That would be cool. That would be something that would be interesting to see. Okay? Because he said he's going to be right down the middle, and his way of being right down the middle is not giving Sami Zayn a one-on-one encounter. His way of being right down the middle is putting Gunther and Kevin Owens inside the matchup, making it a fatal four-way. Now, at the same time, this does put Kevin Owens as the number one contender for the WWE title against CM Punk. I like that. That goes on to Sunday night's main event in September. All right, I like that WWE has done that, and they brought back Kevin Owens. It adds an extra layer to SmackDown, and we can have a nice sigh of relief that we have something different for a change. But as far as Sami Zayn is concerned, who I don't care what anybody says, he is one of the more interesting characters in WWE. Where does he go now? You're not going to tell me that he's going to get thrusted right into a feud with Kevin Owens. He's not, because unless they're going to put him in a title matchup, also, except make him work his way up to being a number one contender again. But I can't see that happening because, or I can see that happening, but I can't see that happening where he's the number one contender right away because KO is facing CM Punk. And between you and me, guys, I personally think it would be better to have CM Punk facing KO one-on-one. Unless WWE is afraid that Kevin Owens is going to get hurt. And so they stick a triple threat match in there. And also to add a little story with it where it's friend versus CM Punk. Y'all let me know what you're thinking about that in the comments below. Honestly, I think the story of Nick Aldis calling things down the middle and it not necessarily working out, him calling things down the middle, is not over yet. I don't think that's over yet. We had Chelsea Green. She won tonight inside the ladder matchup. I couldn't be happier for her. I couldn't be happier for this match. You know, I'm glad it's not Lash Legend. I'm glad it's not Charlotte. And I'm glad it's not any of the others. You know, Tiffany Stratton, Tippy Time. I'm glad it's not any of those, you know, that we'd just be going backwards. Of all the times, of all the things that the creative has said about about Chelsea Green, about how, you know, she's just there to put over the major talent. She's a good U.S. champion. She's this and that. Blah, 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 blah. I couldn't be happier that she got that feel-good moment at SummerSlam. It's great. Couldn't be happier. And now, you know, she can hold it for a while. It won't be a long run anyway. And now she'll move on. And chances are probably at Money in the Bank she'll drop it. Whoever wins Money in the Bank, you know, if they don't cash it in on Liv Morgan, they'll cash it in on Chelsea Green. That's my guess. Okay? My guess. Either that or, you know, Rhea Ripley's going to come back and beat Chelsea Green. She's not holding on to it very long. Anyway, wrestling fans, glad she got the victory in that match. And it was a good ending. You know, it was a good ending to it. I kind of like the... it was kind of a cluster right there at the end of it. But her hanging down off the ladder like that by her foot, and then kind of lunging up and just leaping right up to the top of it and grabbing the title. That was very impressive. I enjoyed watching that entire matchup, but that was a good ending sequence of all the ladders being there at the very end, and in the end, Chelsea Green being victorious. Really did enjoy it. I don't know how anybody could be complaining about that ending. Just how I don't know how anybody could be complaining about Chad Gable winning the Intercontinental title tonight. Okay? I don't know how anybody could complain about that. Because Chad Gable winning is well-deserved, wrestling fans. Is well-deserved after everything he has done in WWE. El Grande Americano, Tag Champs, Alpha Academy, everything. Being a jobber, okay? Just top to bottom. Everything that he's done for WWE and WWE, coming this close on numerous times to being a champion, singles champion, and always losing. You are looking at a guy that really deserves a singles title. And he got one. Hometown, Minneapolis, Minnesota. Couldn't ask for a better outcome for the Intercontinental title matchup tonight at SummerSlam. Couldn't ask for a better one. And now I just hope he has a good reign with it. I hope it's not one of those, okay, we've given you a feel-good moment, and now a month later, it's gone. I hope they don't do that. Honestly, I hope they turn him heel and he does something with it and he plays a really good heel. And when I say a really good heel, I don't mean a chicken either. I don't mean a heel like The Miz. So y'all let me know what you're thinking about that in the comments below. What kind of champion do you want to see Chad Gable be? Do you want to see him what the Intercontinental title has always been meant for, and that is to be the workhorse champion? Or do you want to see him to be this chicken crap heel and turn heel and turn on the fans and all this stuff? What kind of champ do you want to see him being? Anyway, wrestling fans, the main event, because I'm not talking about Danhausen and Dominic Mysterio. I'm not talking about that crap. You all don't really want to know about that crap. The only thing that matters is Dominic Mysterio and Danhausen had their match. The Judgment Day got involved, a.k.a. J.D. McDonough got involved. Many Danhausens got involved, and Danhausen was victorious. There you go. That's the match. Who gives a crap? It's a shame Dominic Mysterio has to put up with that, considering he is the AAA champion. His character is completely different in AAA, and last year, he was having the run of a lifetime. He was having a run of a lifetime facing John Cena, beating John Cena, and all the different things he was doing. Intercontinental champion. I mean, all the stuff. The being with Rhea Ripley and being with Liv Morgan and doing all this. And now he's jobbing out to Danhausen, of all people. Give me a break. So in the main event, we had Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns. Final chapter. Final match. I hope this is the final match, because This is the type of rival that has been been happening like Edge and John Cena. Randy Orton and Edge. All these feuds that I'm mentioning, that is how long it's been going. That's how deep this feud goes. It put an exclamation point on night 2. And if you enjoy any part of this, review, wrestling fans, y'all remember to become a subscriber, give me a big thumbs up, and leave a comment also. But Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, put each other through tables. Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins went all over the arena, went through the fans, all different types of stuff. The ref pretty much just forgot about him when it came to that stuff. No count out, no disqualification, nothing. I mean, nothing. Ref got hit about 1,000 times. I wish they would have named it a different matchup, different style of match, instead of just a singles one-on-one. WrestleMania, CM Punk got hit with the steel steps. Nothing happened. And I'm okay with that, okay? I'm okay with that. That was just one time. All right. This time, it was went back and forth and all this different types of stuff. And I understand what they were doing, okay? I understand what they were doing. Roman Reigns had to beat Seth Rollins. He had to beat Seth Rollins. We all know what they were doing. We know what they were doing. But if you're going to have a match like this, you need to put some type of stipulation on it. Not just one-on-one. The one thing I am glad about, though, is the bloodline did not interfere. They did not come down the aisle whatsoever. They did not show up. Nothing. So, I did like that they kept them away from the action. But wrestling fans, Roman Reigns victorious. We knew he was going to win. Seth Rollins will move on to something else. Roman Reigns, it wouldn't surprise me if he moved on to LA Knight now. I'm not a big fan of it because LA Knight's just going to job out to him. We all know that. You know that. I know that. Whoever he faces at Money in the Bank is going to lose to him. Okay? So, we'll wait and see what happens. But, guys, SummerSlam, night 2, better than night 1, but WWE has a lot of work to do with these pay-per-views, with these PLEs, because honestly, it's just like watching a Monday Night Raw, except with more hype for their matches, and they tend to put on a better card, at least on paper. That was about it. And that is SummerSlam in a nutshell. But y'all let me know what you're thinking about it in the comments below. Become a subscriber today. If you enjoyed this review of SummerSlam, become a subscriber, hit the bell button, give me a like, leave a huge comment down below. It is appreciated. Follow me on TikTok at BYBD45. That's appreciated as well. If you follow Backyard Beatdown on TikTok, that is appreciated. And of course, until I see you again, this is Webby. I'll catch all of you on the other side. Talk to you later.